also joined by Disha Yadav from Mumbai. We'll now cut across to our guest.
And we're joined by Mithali Nikore. She's an economist and founder of Nikore Associates. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, Mithali.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Mithali, the budget has been announced and it has come with the backdrop of a lot of global geopolitical uncertainty and also certain domestic pressure points. Now, how do you characterize this budget?
So I think there are certain things that have been done really well in this budget. It's a long-term budget. It's a budget with a long-term view. So I think that part has been done really well. The infrastructure-related announcements and plans that have been laid out are extremely forward-looking. When we think about the railway sector, the 7 high-speed rail corridors, the new dedicated freight corridor line between Dankuni and Surat. When we think about waterways, again, a very important intervention for the logistics sector as well as for passenger transit on waterways. So 20 new waterways. Then, thinking about urban development and the fact that tier 2 and tier 3 cities will be prioritized, for capital expenditure. And of course, the overall capital expenditure going up to, 12 lakh crores. So this entire package of measures which comes for the infrastructure sector, really one of the, most well thought out parts of this budget.
Mithali, and this is through the course of the address from the finance minister, a lot of corridors, these growth corridors, if you would consolidate and call them. There was, of course, the 7 high-speed rail corridors expected from Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Varanasi, Siliguri, rare earth corridors, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Kerala, and then industry and logistics corridors, northeast regions to get development of Buddhist circuits. A lot of corridors have been mentioned, and these are essentially for growth. How do you feel this is in line with the Viksit Bharat ambition and as we approach 2047?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our entire vision is to actually move to a Viksit Bharat in 2047. Now, when we are trying to achieve this vision, there are certain sectors which, the finance minister has really outlined. If you think about it, 7 key sectors, and biopharma being one of those sectors, logistics being one of those sectors, industrial development being one of those sectors, MSMEs being prioritized as those sectors. So really, I think it's a mix of some traditional sectors like industry, logistics, MSME, and textiles. Textiles really one of those traditional sectors, again getting a push at this time. But on the other side, also bringing in newer sectors like, for example, AI, biopharma, medical tourism, which are very innovative. So I would say it's a mix of traditional and innovative sectors, which will help us get to that, Viksit Bharat 2047 vision.
Right, and Mithali, before in the build-up to the budget, one concern was the depreciating value of rupee and how the looming trade tariff with the United States had also weighed on the sentiment. And now with the budget being out, you have characterized it as forward-looking. We had we had with us an expert with us, and he had characterized it as rather reformist. Now, having said all of that, do you think the budget has done enough to address the foreign investment inflows, which was also a major point of concern? Do you think the budget has successfully done that?
So I think that, very honestly, we have to see a little bit in terms of the wait and watch when it comes to the foreign direct investment, because foreign direct investment in India is not only a factor and a product of what is the, investment condition in India, but also what are the alternatives that are being offered to foreign institutional investors. And at this point in time, we know that FDI is highly, dictated by geopolitical tensions, geopolitical alignments. So the India-EU FTA, for example, sets a path where European companies should ideally come and invest in India, should set up even manufacturing outposts in India and, not only in China. So I do think that some of those aspects have been recognized in this budget. When we look at 3 or 4 sectors in particular, electronics, and the fact that electronics components manufacturing has been given a 40,000 crore push. When we look at container manufacturing, this is such an important, and often ignored announcement, but very critical, because India is so highly dependent on Chinese container imports, and actually manufacturing domestic containers is so critical. And then, of course, when we look at textiles, so all 3 together, and of course semiconductors, the 4th one, of course, semiconductors. So all 4 together put down, the conditions which make it very ripe for foreign institutional investors to come and invest in India, especially in these 4 sectors, in addition to the sectors which are under the PLI scheme.
Mithali, also, when we're talking about welcoming foreign markets or foreign investors in India, let's also talk about the tax holiday till 2047 to any foreign company giving cloud services using data centers in India. What kind of a move do you see that, and how do you find that playing out in the years to come?
No, I think this is a very interesting strategy. I mean, I think this is a move that a lot of us who are analyzing the market also didn't see coming, because we know that there has been a huge amount of interest from foreign companies. And this is not only tech companies, but all foreign companies really, when it comes to setting up global capability centers in India, right? GCCs. And GCCs have been huge job creators for India. Now, on the other side, the other point that we have been trying to achieve as a country, and of course the government has taken this very seriously, is to localize India's data and say that India's data should be stored in India. So now with this measure, what they're essentially saying is you could be a foreign service provider or an Indian service provider, but as long as you store India's data in India, we will give you that tax holiday. And that's like putting an incentive to not exporting data. And we know that data is the new oil. So really, it's a very genius move, I would say.
Data is the new oil. All right, you've coined that, and we'll stick to that. But that's a move that did surprise a lot of people. But then let's see how many people out overseas or they're able to get attracted to this tax holiday till 2047. Diksha and I have been trying to really disseminate the information and bring it to all our viewers in a manner that everyone's able to see through exactly what it means for them through the jargon. Mithali, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for joining us. At this point, we are going to slip into a short break. This is our comprehensive coverage, and now our understanding and bringing it to you exactly what Union Budget 2026 means for you and your daily lives. Stay with us. Please come back.